So, like, that's all that makes it better, is that, is the fact that, about that. And this, I'm pretty sure you recognize this from episode 4, or if you played original or FOC. They can only be built on Corellia, another anti-fighter ship. Pretty useful. Karak cruiser. Very basic tactical cruiser. It's good against the Picket, which is the separatist anti-fighter. And it's good against the bombers and the fighters. Vulnerable to basically everything else. Dreadnought. Good with anti-fighter, droid carrier, and recruiting. Weak against bombers, nuclear hulks, and Providence. Centex. Good against frigates and anti-fighter. Sucks against everything else. Arc 170. Step up from the V19. Major step up. Because this actually has an ability so it can go faster and slow down on instantly. Basically, good against all fighters. Crappy against everything that is anti-fighter. Venator class Star Destroyer. Good against frigates and anti-fighter, vulnerable to basically everything. Because this is like the crappiest capital ship I have ever seen. Oh yeah, son. The Mandator. I would recommend getting a level 5 space station for it. It only requires level 4, but I recommend getting level 5. Can only be built on Kuwat. And actually, basically, I'd recommend getting level 5, because if you get it at level 4 space station, it'll take longer. You can actually up the amount, you can actually make the increase in time go, a decrease in time in how long it takes to build with a level 5 station. V-Wings, step up from the NTB 630 bomber. Step up from it. And the Victory, the majorly overpowered. Because if you use barrage and powered weapons, you can actually use them at the same time, which is pretty funny. Because you can fire all of your lasers at the same time as long as all of your missiles. So it can defend itself from all sides and shoot wherever you want it to with the missiles. So it's basically good against everything. Like, except the malevolence. Star Destroyer even comes with 10 TIE fighters, because the Star Destroyer and the TIE fighters were actually experimental technology of the Republic at this time. Now for our land units and basically what structures they can be built at. So it makes sense. So it's basically infantry can build all the phase 1 units and the phase 2. Those, like, from the 6th one to the 5th one is what you really want. They cause lag in GC because of the amount of clones they have in them. Lag is worth it. Phase 2 Commander and the Bark Speeder. Oh, by the way, when you get to tech level 5, Camino will lag out on you because you can build them. And you don't even have to build them for Camino to lag. Light Vehicle Factory unlocks stuff at every other tech level. Kind of funny about that. Heavy Vehicle Factory. Basically every single one except for tech level 5 that this on staff. So at tech level 2, 4, 5. Arc Training Center. Basically can be built on Anaxis, Cartier, Mandalore. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about the Heavy Vehicle Factory. I know I said I didn't remember which one they were. So it's Albergo Rare, Baku, Baden, Cardia, Coruscant, Duro, Genosis, Hypori, Kuat, Mandalore, Mothas, Mustafar, Nalhada. Nalhada's a tough one because like the pirates are there. But the thing with the pirates, they keep themselves. They don't expand out at all. They just have gigantic land forces and space fleet over the planet. Rothana or Salukami. Research facility, basically. That's all it does. This is overpowered. It can take down the capital ship in one shot. That can basically obliterate any light vehicles and heavy vehicles, depending on which one. Shield generator, self-explanatory. Power generator, also self-explanatory. Mining facility. Now these 3 things give you a ton, and I mean a ton of money. The refinery, if you build it on Bespin, I guess it's because Bespin's a gas giant, build a refinery there, it'll give you a 2030 or 40 It's either 2030 or 2040 credits added to your daily pay. And same with the mining facility and the farm. Well, not the Bespin thing, that's the refinery, but these three are your money-making planets. Outpost, basically secondary barracks, cantina. You can actually get a less expensive field commander basically from this. It's basically what you can get. And they also have listening posts, basically another pathway. Space structures. We have shipyards, blah blah blah. Gravity well generator, basically a stationary interdictor. Long range scanner, basically a sensor array. CIS land units. Now we're into the CIS. The battle droid, this guy, basically makes up 48 droids per squad. Pretty good, because these guys have no expendability whatsoever. The OOM command droid, field commander. STAP, basically, is the barks of the CIS. Droideka. I don't get why you unlock the Droideka after the Droideka before the Super Battle Droid. Don't ask me, I did not make this mod. That goes to Z3ROX. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but yeah. And that's your light vehicle right there that you can get. And the repair droid basically is the medic in the CIS. Commando droid, tech level 2. Armor missile tank and Hellfire droid, tech level 2. B2 South, super battle droid. God, I cannot English today. So tech level 3. And it's known as an SBD. These are like Republic Commando overpowered. Good against everything, basically. Dark Side Adept. Look, good against... It's not good against or weak to anything. It can only be built on Korriban. So you basically can build a Land Force Sith, kind of overpowered. Heavy artillery gun. AT-AT and infantry, basically. It just can... Basically can kill everything except for the gunship. That you would recognize from the Battle of Kashyyyk when the Wookiees blew it up. Heavy Vehicle Factory, Tech Level 4. The OG Nighthawk Spider Drone. Heavy Vehicle Factory. Basically good against all light vehicles, but vulnerable to all heavy vehicles. And the MTT. Basically can deploy unlimited amount of battle droids. So basically, have one of these on the battlefield, you basically won. That's the LAAT of the CIS. HMP. And now for the space units. Vulture Droid. Droid Bomber. Now they're going to replace it with the Hyena, I think, in 1.2. So it's the Hyena Bomber. Hammer Class Picket. Basically, they're anti-fighter. Patrol Frigate, also anti-fighter. These guys do not like fighters. Municipal Frigate. Good against Acclimators. All of their light frigates, like the Light Assault Cruiser, that stuff, and the Corellian Frigate, and the Kara Cruiser. Vulnerable to the Venator, and all bombers. These are basically the CIS version of the Naboo Starfighter. They are the Geonosis Fighter, or also known as the Nantex Fighter, apparently. And it can only be built at Shipyard Level 2 Tech 2, unlike the Naboo Starfighter, which is built at Tech 1, for a good reason. This is good against all fighters. Everything, except for the Arc 170s, for some reason. And it can only be built on Geonosis. Oh, went too far. Take the Union Frigate. Good against all light cruisers. Vulnerable to bombers and all heavy cruisers. Droid Carrier. Good against fighters and acclimators. Except for the Arc 170 and all heavy stuff. The RCLD. Good against light cruisers. Vulnerable to everything else. The Lucre Hulk. Again, recommend if it says Space Station Level 4, build a 5. Increases production time. Good against Victory Cruisers, Venators, Current Cruisers. Vulnerable to everything else. That right there is our super ship. Tech Level 3. There's a reason for that. It's weaker than the Manadator, but not weak enough to make a gigantic difference. Except the fact that if it was just a one-on-one, the Manadator would win. That's why this thing